Hello and welcome back to our deck building roguelike card game tutorial series. Today we're going to be working on setting up a draw pile, a discard pile, as well as modifying some of our highlighting for our grid. Let's go ahead and give you a glance of what we'll be doing today. So you can see we've got our draw pile and our discard pile. And I can drag this out here. And you see the first two columns are green, but after that it's all red. Okay, and then I can release, and it'll go into there. Okay, and then I can click this, draw some cards, and then we're incrementing our draw pile and our discard pile whenever we're playing cards, and whenever we're drawing cards. Alright, let's get to it. So this video is probably going to be split into two different videos because they're pretty involved segments, and they kind of have a natural divide between the two. But, yeah. So, if you haven't completed the homework yet for the previous video, you might not have this grid cell highlighter script. So I'm going to put it in the description of this video, so you can go ahead and drag it into your project and just attach it to your grid cell prefab. You can see if we hit play right now, whenever we mouse over these tiles, we are getting a little bit of a highlight effect. It might be hard to see because of the yellow color. I can zoom in some, and you can see better the yellow color that's turning into. Alright, so go ahead and get that script if you don't have it already and attach it to your grid cell prefab, because we're going to be making some changes to that to start out. So we're going to go inside of our card cell highlighter script, and we're going to want to add some more dynamics to where we are checking what cell we can put it in, and if it can be put in there, we want it to be green. If it can't be put in there, we want it to be red. And if we're just hovering over it, we want to highlight it blue or cyan. So let's go ahead and change our highlight color to cyan. And then we can actually just go ahead and copy this, paste it in here twice. Let's rename this pause color for our positive color, and neg color for our negative color. We're going to set this one to green, and this one to red. Okay, and then we're going to go into well, let's save this first. We're going to go down into our on-mouse intersection. And we're going to want to be able to change our color to red or green. But first we need to check if we're playing a card. Well, how do we do that? How are we going to know when we're playing a card? Well, luckily we have a game manager script that will allow us to kind of hold a bool to tell us if we're playing a card or not. Let's open up our game manager, and we're just going to add a bool in here. Public bool. And we're going to want to just name this playing card, and we're going to set it to false to start out with. Okay. Well, next, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and hop into our card movement script, because that's when we're determining when we're actually playing the card or not. Okay, so inside of our card movement script, we want to go ahead and we're going to scroll on down to our transition to zero state. So if we're transitioning to 0, we want this to be at the very top, right? As soon as we set it to 0, we're going to set game manager.instance playing card, and we're going to set this to false. Right? And then in our handle play state, right before we start all our fun stuff, what we want to do is we just want to check if it's set to false. And if it is set to false, we want to set it to true. Okay, so now that we're setting our playing card state to true or false, we can come over to our cell highlighter. We can just kind of check if we are playing the card or not and set our color based upon that. So, first thing we want is that if we are not playing the card and are mousing over it, we want to set it to our sign color. Okay? However, if it is set to true, we want to check our grid cell and check if it's full, and then we make sure that its grid cell is greater than 1. And if it is greater than 1, then we can't put a card there. If it's full, we can't put a card there. We want it to be red to tell the player you can't put a card here. And then, if everything is true, if we can put a card there, if everything else is true, we can't put a card there, then we want to color it green, right? Well, right now we're throwing an error because we actually haven't referenced our grid cell. So up here, we can do a public grid cell, and then in our wake method, we just have to get our grid cell component. Just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and save that. And we're going to jump back into our game here. We'll hit play. And then, well, actually, first I gotta go back to our prefab real quick. And you see it's caching that yellow color. I don't really want that yellow color. I want it to be the sign color. So I'm just going to remove component and then re-add the component. Just like that. Now I can hit play again. And you can see when I'm mousing over it's turning blue. It might be a little bit hard to see because of how big it is, but you can see I'm scrolling in, you can see the size or the color of it. Okay? So now, if I drop a card over here, you can see it's turning green for those cells. When I come over here, it's turning red. Okay? So we can put it in there, but see now it's full, so now it's red. Now the thing is that even though it's turning red, we can still put our cards in here. So we need to jump to our card movement script again, and make a check for the grid cell position. So at the top of our script here, we're going to add a new variable. We're going to name it private read-only int max column. So this is going to be the maximum column that it can be. We're going to set it equal to 2. Okay, so now we can go down to here, and we're going to check our cell dot grid index dot x. We're going to make sure that's less than our max column. And we still also want to check that we're able to put down the grid, or the object inside the grid, so we'll include that there. So we can save that and go back into our game. We hit play. And you can see now it's saying red, and I let go, and it's not putting the card in there. Okay? And then, you know, it's still turning red for that. Alright, great. Now what we want to do is I kind of want to have a bit of a tiling effect, kind of like a chessboard looking thing, sort of, where the different cells have a different colored background based upon where their position is at, because it'll make it easier to read the columns and rows of the grid. So let's set that up. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go into my sprites folder. I'm going to right click, create 2D sprite. It's going to be a square. Just name it square, that's fine. You can see it's a 1x1 square now. And then I can go into my grid cell prefab. I'm going to create empty. I'm going to name this... what do I want to name this? I'm just gonna name it cell background. Add components. It's gonna be a sprite renderer. I'm gonna set the sprite to the square. I'll set the color to completely black. I'm also gonna set the opacity to 0.25. And then I'm going to duplicate it. So we can have 2 of them, if needed. I'm going to jump back into our grid cell highlighter. And we're actually making a lot of changes to this, so it's kind of getting more complex than just a highlighter. So I'm going to go ahead and rename this script grid cell display. Okay, I'm going to save it. I'm going to close out of it. I'm going to go back to our game, back into the Uni editor. I'm going to go to that grid cell highlighter script and I'm going to rename it grid cell display to match the name of the class. Okay, and then inside this grid cell display, I'm also going to add a requirement for a type of, and it's going to be grid cell. So it's to require a sprite renderer and a grid cell on the object that this is attached to. Make sense? Okay, so now we want to go ahead and add a new little array, and we're going to name it public game object. It's just going to be a simple little array. We're going to name it backgrounds. And then I want a new bool. It's going to be private bool set background, and it's going to be equal to false. Okay, and now we're going to go down here, and we're going to do void update. And then if set background is false, then we want to set background. Okay. Now we need to go ahead and make this method. So down on the bottom, I'm going to do private void set background. And then basically what we want to do is we want to check and see if the grid index is even or odd. If it is, then we want to go ahead and set active the objects inside of our background. Oh, I set this as game manager. This needs to be game object. That's why it's giving me an error right here. So if grid cell grid index.x is negative, then background set active the first index. If grid cell.y is, or not negative, is odd. Sorry. If x is odd, set background 1 to active. If y is odd, set background 2 to active. So now we want to go back into our prefabs and go to our grid cell prefab. And we want to go ahead and turn both of these to inactive. And then on our grid cell display script, we want to add 2 fields here, and drag these fellas into here. And then I'm going to hit play. And now we have a bit more of a darkening color to different cells, but it's not quite dark enough for me. So I'm going to go into our cell background here. I'm going to set this to 0.4 for both of them. I think that'll make it dark enough. And yeah, that's much darker and easier to see. Okay, so that's it for episode 10A. I'm going to go ahead and start recording episode 10B right now. There's no homework for this one. Let's jump on over to the next episode and keep working. See you in the next one.